Oh! Here's Phil to tell you more.
What is going on, everyone? How's everyone doing today? Hopefully you're doing well, and hopefully you're excited for my streams today, because today is finally the big day.
And I know yesterday I said today it was the big day,
But I guess for a lot of people it wasn't. But I guess a lot of people were disappointed because I am a heterosexual through and through. The thing is, I played the tutorial yesterday, and it took me, no lie, 2 hours to get through it. And by the time I got through them, people were upset. Oh my god, Phil's played for 2 hours. He hasn't even touched a character yet. You know, what is this? What the fuck? Are you fucking serious?
you know what I say?
And then, of course, as I told you guys, I wanted to do the story. Come on, man. Do you want to play the fucking game?
And I paused the game and I was like, alright, well that's it for tonight, I gotta go.
And people were like, what?
Yesterday, I would say the first stream was great. You guys were very supportive and everything during the first stream. For whatever reason, the second stream had good attendance.
But it was incredibly slow.
And I just want to remind everyone, sadly, what's happening slowly is the Mortal Kombat 11 videos that everyone is uploading to YouTube are getting demonetized. The reason being the game has violence. And YouTube apparently doesn't think that violent videos should have any kind of advertisements on them whatsoever. So FYI, even though I am enjoying the game, chances are, for YouTube, this game is going to be a bust. So if you like Mortal Kombat 11, and so far you've liked my coverage, you're dying to see me do it, play online, and, you know, this is what you want to see for the next week or two, I do implore you, please pay my bills.
By the way, I really desperately need the money to help with my tax situation. So, hint, hint.
Oh, you sent me a PayPal donation, so-and-so, Joe Blow Splamoni. Thanks so much for the $100 you sent me. By the way, I'll never mention you again because I only do it to take your fucking money. All right, let me go ahead and take a look here. Hold on, let me click over here. Let's see.
Don't you dare scream!
Oh, shit. I misclicked now. The Iwan Thomas tipped me, or cheered and said, I'm so glad Noob Saibot is in the game. Noob Saibot. I wonder how many of you actually know the true story behind Noob Saibot. So, back in Mortal Kombat 1. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Shut up. So there's your daily dose of lore for the day. I know you guys are very excited.
Some people are like, lore, I don't want lore. Oh, relax. Some people are just so impatient. Relax. Have a good time. It's a fun stream. We're not just here to just play the games. We're also here to enjoy the culture of the games. All right?
Huh? What the fuck? What does that mean? You know, now I'm like, what does that, you know, this is wild and insane. What is going on? Okay, what does that mean? Well, I see we got some stupid ass trolling, so I'm just going to take care of that quickly. There we go. Dumbass moron. Goodbye. Mark McCauley tipped me $1 and says, congrats on raising all the money you needed to pay your taxes.
That's not what happened. Mark McCauley, that's misinformation.
What happens is I raised enough between the viewers and the good graces and generosity of my parents to basically qualify for the payment plan. And I'm supposed to get details on that in May at some point from my tax guy. But that's neither here nor there. We're not talking about that anymore. That's now in the past. I don't want to have every stream be dwelling on that. So let's go ahead and move forward positively, okay? Real Talk Mommy Cheers says, do you think you can lower the sub goal to 500 or 550 for the goal? 600 is kind of a stretch now. Fuck your mother. The bottom line is, when I set up that goal early this month, we were at like 550 subs. And what happened was, somehow my views have fucking plummeted. What a joke. Because that is a broken, awful, garbage process that's not effective. I did nothing wrong. I did everything correct. I'm a very fallible, very, very fragile, very, you know, vulnerable person. Everyone knows that. I went to Connecticut for the week, which I knew I was going to do, to visit my parents and get married. When I came back, we had lost like 100 subs. Then we gained some of those back. By the way, I would just say, as much as a week ago, we were over 500 subs. And then, as I said, what happened is, as we hit the month anniversary of me playing Sekiro, when a lot of people subscribed last month, those subs expired, and for some reason, they didn't resub. We got to get people to come back, right? I'm playing the new releases. There's not much else I can do. We got to get people to come back. So it's motivation to get people to sub. If I just lower the sub goal and say, oh, the sub goal is now 475 subs, that's not much motivation to sub, because the whole point is to get people to come together and support the channel, not to just hand out the goals. All right?
But the bottom line is, people should come and support and sub and keep fucking paying my bills.
There's many reasons to sub. It's not like I'm just asking you to do something. You get a ton of things for doing it, you know? It's great to have all those emotes. Oh, man. Big Bad Buffoon did 100-bit cheer. He says, John Tobias, so here's some lore that I didn't know. John Tobias joined Zynga Games in 2012. Now, for those who don't know, Zynga... Here he comes! Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. What are you talking about? Shut up. Nobody cares. Sephion did 100-bit cheer. He says, I love having chatting sessions at the beginning of the stream. Do you think we could make them even longer, or if at all possible? Yes. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start extending pre-streams to be about 7 hours long, and then we'll have about an hour of gameplay a day. How does that sound?
All right, no, and that's being stupid. As I've explained to you guys many times, the pre-streams are interesting and essential for two reasons. Begging.
Number one, because guess what? I don't do podcasts anymore. I used to at one point when I was all about 100%, let's just play games and play them offline, have no interactivity and no talking with you guys at all. It was just, when I play games, I'm hyper-focused on the game. It's like me in an isolation booth playing the game, right? When I did that, people wanted to talk to me. And since I didn't do it on streams or whatever, I would have special podcasts where I would have Hate Live or Ask the King or these special events where you guys would be able to interact with me, because you wouldn't be able to interact with me during gameplay. So you pay me money to get a temporary, momentary pop-up on the screen, all right? It's just so ludicrous. It's just, it's so stupid, and most people don't pay attention to it. Here we are, I'm playing a game. It's a really tense moment, it's a intense fight. Let's go. Oh, wait a minute, I got a new sub. Pause the game, it comes a pop-up on the fucking screen. Thanks to Shubbity Bubbity for joining the Hate Army. You're great, blah, blah, blah. No, not gonna do that. Oh, buy a t-shirt. Oh, here's a new kind of chat emote system, an exclusive emote thing, and this and that has nothing to fucking do with the stream. None of it has anything to do with sitting there and playing the game on Twitch, which is what the fucking website was created to fucking do. It's gross. It's for this. It's not because they love what they're doing. It's not because for the love of the game or because they're true gamers. It's for this. And this is what it's become. It's not about putting out a quality review. It's not about putting out a quality playthrough or quality stream. It's about making this. And that's sad. Very, very, very hypocritical. Well, guess what? That's changed. All right. So I don't do podcasts anymore because every day we do basically a podcast in the morning. And I like doing this. I like having the ability to interact with you guys in the mornings and talk with you and have fun. And I'm just going to ban. It's like a mini podcast every morning. I love doing it. And I think it gives a personable feel to the streams that you guys are about to hear, hang out with me and spend some fun time together rather than, oh, it's just a guy streaming a random game. It's, oh, it's Phil and he's here to hang out with us, right? It makes sense. And some people make fun of it. You know what? Make fun of it as long as you want, because there is a group of people who love this. And I'm not going to just throw it away because a few people are impatient and want to see gameplay immediately. That's not what my streams are all about anymore, ladies and gentlemen. At one point, when I was just a gaming YouTuber, it was just about gameplay, gameplay, gameplay. It's not about that anymore. It's now become this
Interactive, organic experience.
And you got to get used to it. It's only been over 2 years since I did this, and you guys still are not somehow adjusted to it. It's kind of like how it's been over 4 years since I did anything with John Rambo, but people still can't fucking get over it, you know? You got to get used to change, guys, okay? All right. I got an anonymous dollar tip. He says, if people have been complaining about pre-stream length for years, don't you think it's maybe an actual issue? You do tend to be stubborn and hard-headed, Phil. No, because as many people as complain and whine about, oh no, I actually have to listen to Phil for like a half an hour before he starts his gameplay, there's a lot of people who like the pre-stream. There's people who actually come by just to listen to the pre-stream. If they're not interested in the game that day, they'll still listen to the pre-stream to hang out with me, and then they'll leave and come back when there's a game that they're interested in. So, FYI, there's always going to be people who complain about change. People always complain. People complained a lot when I became a full-time streamer. Oh my God, the videos on YouTube aren't as good as they used to be because there's stuff on the screen popping up and Phil's talking to the people on the stream, and that's odd, and that's weird, and that breaks the immersion in the game. I'm like, yeah, that's great, and it's the only way I can survive because YouTube fell through.
You know, don't blame me, blame YouTube.
And the bottom line is, if you don't want to listen to the pre-stream, don't listen to it. Come when it's over. Every day I do a pre-stream, and I guarantee a certain amount of gameplay. And I always give that amount of gameplay. That's the other thing. I always say, on every stream, I'll do about 4 hours of gameplay. Or at a night stream, I'll do about 2 hours of gameplay. Okay? I always promise that, and I always deliver. It's not like, oh, because of the length of the pre-stream, Phil didn't play the game today. That's never happened. So, it's just people being impatient and whiny, which I'm used to. After 10 years, it's always the same thing. You get the impatient group, the vocal minority, who are whine, and there's nothing you can do about it. If the bottom line is, if I had no pre-stream, they'd find something else to complain about. So, I'm happy doing it. I like doing the pre-stream. By the way, it's a major part of giving back to you guys to do the pre-stream because it gives me this big opportunity to give shout-outs for your contributions. If I didn't do the shout-outs, people would all be upset. And the thing is, all these contributions that come out early on the stream, if I didn't do shout-outs for them now, the entire first hour of me trying to do gameplay would just be me doing shout-outs and not playing the game. So, it's necessary to have an interactive stream. If you don't like it, go watch someone who plays video games in an isolation booth. That formula from 10 years ago, go right ahead. And Mediator, tip me $1, says, can you maybe compromise with the people who don't like the pre-stream by sending a tweet that you're starting the gameplay?
No.
Because it's the same every day. You know it's about a half an hour to 45 minutes, roughly. Some days it'll go longer, the pre-stream. It depends on how many contributions come in and how much shout-outs I have. This is not something that is like rocket science. It's not. It's not hard work, and it's not rocket science to figure out that Phil starts his stream, does a pre-stream, and then roughly around, 11:30-ish is when gameplay usually starts, sometimes a little bit later, depending on how long how long the contributions come in or whatever. This is not rocket science. This is easy to figure out. But it's kind of like, you know what this reminds me of? And this is being very honest with all of you. Back in the day when I used to upload a ridiculous amount of videos to YouTube. Remember, every day I would upload like 20, 30 videos to YouTube, 10 minutes long. And people would yell at me and say, Phil, my sub box is flooded. Phil, my sub box is flooded. Phil, my sub box is flooded. I was like,
I don't work for YouTube. I'm not the one who made the sub box work like that. So if you have a problem with your sub box being flooded, don't complain to the content creator. Complain to YouTube.
Plus, by the way, there's simple ways to figure it out. Like, you can set it so that you don't see every video that pops up for someone you're subbed to. There's a way to do that on YouTube. It's been like that for like 7 years. But that's it. Instead of doing 1 minute of research to figure it out for yourself, you complain to the content creator who gives you free content every day. This is kind of the same thing. Well, if you did 1 minute of research, you'd figure out that Phil usually starts his gameplay between 11:30 to 12 p.m. Just come by then. But instead, complain to the content creator to completely destroy and end the pre-stream that people like because you personally don't like it. Oh my fucking God.
Trust me, I've been around the block. I've been doing this for over 10 years. I know what I'm doing. You might not, but I know what I'm doing. Knox tipped me $1. He says no one is saying get rid of pre-stream. We're saying it could be shorter and still get the information it needs. You're taking it to an extreme that no one is demanding. Knox, the reason pre-stream is long is because you are contributing. And I am reacting to you. If you literally didn't tip this $1, the pre-stream would have already been over. You're blaming the wrong person. And Liquid Hindo tipped $1 says, my solution to deal with my sub box getting flooded was to unsub from your channel. You're right, Liquid Hindo, and that's what a ton of people did. They said, I will still watch the videos on DSP Gaming, but I'm not going to sub to your channel, because when I sub to your channel, my inbox gets flooded. Which is hilarious, because you could have literally clicked a single box to make it stop getting flooded, but instead you unsub. And that's why DSP Gaming, despite having hundreds of millions of views over the years, still doesn't even have 200,000 subs. Now, it's funny, because as you guys know, I made a giant change last year. I no longer flood the channel. Now the videos are an hour long.
So every day I upload, 6 videos to the channel? 7? It's not a flooding.
And it's a ton of gameplay in a short amount of videos. So that whole excuse of, oh, I'm going to unsub now, doesn't apply anymore. But you notice, nothing's changed. There was no massive increase in subs or whatever. In my opinion, it was just bullshit. You always have people make excuses. It was bullshit.
If people don't tip, you'll complain about how there's low tips and low participation at the end of the stream. It's a catch-22. You're right, but Hidumbo, you have to understand, I'm not the one complaining about pre-stream. I like pre-stream. I think the pre-stream is incredibly fun. I love talking to you guys every day and spending this time interacting with you. It's the people who are incredibly impatient who are complaining about it, not me. I have fun with this. And people who like me like the pre-streams. It's the people who just want to see the ragey gameplay that don't like the pre-streams. And that's fine. Let them stomp their feet and complain, because I don't give a shit about their opinions.
King of Hypocrisy through $50 says, according to what you just said now, the way to get shorter pre-streams is to contribute less. Don't complain when people stop contributing. No, actually, if you stop contributing, I just won't stream at all, because I'll have to go get another job. So if you don't contribute, that would be the most asinine, stupid thing you could possibly do, because then I won't be able to pay anything, I'll lose everything, and I won't be able to stream at all, and that'll be the end of everything. So that would be pretty stupid, King of Hypocrisy, and that was a really stupid thing to say.
The content I put out here on Twitch, guys, I can control. And if I entertain you guys, you will, contribute to the streams and make them keep happening. You see what I mean? And that's what I like about this. It's gross. It's for this. It's not because they love what they're doing. It's not because for the love of the game or because they're true gamers. It's for this. And this is what it's become. It's not about putting out a quality review. It's not about putting out a quality playthrough or a quality stream. It's about making this. And that's sad.